Welcome back to NABLiveshow.com. I'm your host, Deborah Kaufman with the Entertainment Technology Center at USC. We're now going to talk about OTT, over the top. It's a topic that's been much discussed in the United States, but it's not only being done in the United States. So I brought together a group of people that are going to talk to you about a really interesting OTT application that was done in India. So my guests are, from my left onward, is Mo, Ramki, and Harish. And I'm going to have each of them introduce their companies a little bit to talk about it. So Ramki, we'll start with you. You're CEO of Prime Focus Technologies, correct?
That's right.
Tell me a little bit about your company.
Sure. Prime Focus Technologies is a technology company that builds a cloud-based sort of media ERP software that really helps digitize the enterprise. It virtualizes the content supply chain. On the back of that cloud platform, we deliver cloud media services to broadcast networks, to studios and production companies around the world. And that's really what Prime Focus Technologies does. And
I know you showed me this really fabulous kind of chart where it showed content in the center and the efficiencies of being connected to everything that happens to that content. So it's all handled by one workflow software, correct?
That's right. See, I think traditionally, if you look at it, when content became digital, what really happened was that the task of managing the digital content resided on the technical operations department, and they all invested in digital asset management softwares, and that's really the technology that was sort of used. And that digital asset management technology really was sort of what the technical operations department sort of really honed in on. But then the creative departments also wanted to have access to the content. They ended up choosing their own technology. So did promo departments, so did distribution departments, so did transmission departments. And as over the last 5-6 years, we've seen this evolve, that there are so many technologies completely acting in silos, disaggregated, and not quite getting what the company really needs to kind of get to. And that's really where our vision was being different over the last 7 years, that we've sort of, learning from our experiences in the classical enterprise, said, look, there should be one software that should really sort of put content at the middle of business, get every division, department sort of have access to it, and it really orchestrate the activities around content. And so that sort of there is that one software that really digitizes the entire enterprise and how it comes together, not only within the stakeholders within the company, but with suppliers and customers. And that really is what we call a media ERP software. Okay. And that's really what is sort of, I think, exciting about what we've done and what excites many of the customers that we work with.
Great, nice to know that. Now Harish, tell me a little bit about your company. I know you're the client, you're with 21st Century Fox, correct? The VP of Digital at Star, which is part of 21st Century Fox?
That's correct. So we are Star India, it's part of the 21st Century Fox, and we are the largest broadcaster with over 40% market share in India. Primarily we were into entertainment business. But in 2012, we got into the sports broadcast with the acquisition of ESPN and Star Sports merger that happened, and we got a lot of sports rights, and that's when the OTT aspirations begin for Star India.
Okay. And Mo, you're with Deltatre?
Yes, I am.
I pronounced it right.
You did, very well done.
And you're in London, correct?
That's right. So Deltatre is a solutions provider specifically for the sports industry. Our clients range from broadcasters such as the BBC or NBC, CTV, to sports federations such as the UEFA or FIFA. And for those clients, we provide a range of services which include on-venue services, or in-studio services, or more traditionally the web and video delivery platforms. Deltatre is an international company, and we have offices in Turin, which is in Italy, in France, in Switzerland, also in Manchester in the UK, and representatives in North America.
Great, thanks so much. Now my understanding is this OTT project began with your company, Ramki, is that correct?
That's right. So, in fact, the Star TV, like Harish mentioned, really had this aspiration of putting an OTT platform and to really sort of help all the digital consumers really enjoy live sport. And I think that's really was the agenda. And Star TV really was looking at solutions in the marketplace, and that's kind of really how we got engaged, because Star TV is one of our customers, who uses our media ERP platform, and we also sort of manage the sort of business of content for them on the media ERP platform called Clear. And with that relationship have been going very successfully, we were presented with this opportunity, at which point in time they were looking at other solution providers to help them realize this delivering this OTT experience to their customers. They're looking at solution providers, integrators. They really looked at a larger cross-section of the market, and we were happy to have got the opportunity to kind of look at that. And that's when we've historically sort of talked to Deltatre as a partner. And for what is unique about Star is that they always want to push the envelope and sort of really provide something that's really sort of different, right? I mean, they really want to kind of push the boundaries of it. And so we also were motivated to kind of bring in something that's different, even after delivering the OTT experience. And that's really when we partnered with Deltatre. Deltatre and PFT together came in and presented a solution to Star. Our motive was very simple. We were not sort of talking technology, in the sense of what that does or doesn't. What we care about is the fan, that you're taking that live OTT experience too. And we said, all we said our proposition was really, how do you make the sports fans watch for longer? And how do you provide a immersive, interactive, digital experience? And I think that's really what we were sort of, we're focused on sort of from a Star perspective. And we're really glad that Star really liked it. Less is history, but Harish can talk more about.
Yeah, Harish, we're going to see a clip in just a moment, but Harish, tell us what were you hoping to get from this?
Yes, when we were looking for the solution, broadcast was delivering the live sports on TV, and the large consumers were on the broadcast watching it. But what do we do different on the OTT? As Ramki mentioned, it's more of a immersive, interactive experience that we wanted to. And for the sports fan, what do we deliver differently? How do they interact with the data? More about understanding that game in depth, and that's what we were looking for. And that's when the solution with PFT and Deltatre together, they brought the solution, and that was the immediate click for Star.
Well, great. Let's not hesitate any longer. Mo, give us an idea, show us the clip, and explain it to us.
Sure, absolutely.
Because,
I have brought a demo with me, which should be live now. What we're seeing here is Deltatre's Diva platform, and the idea of the Diva platform is fairly simple. It's to marry data and video together in an immersive environment and provides overlays that really allows the user to engage and be able to dive deep into it. So this is the video player playing itself. As I interact with it, you'll see at the bottom a timeline has appeared. On the timeline there are a number of markers. These are events that have happened in this cricket match. So cricket obviously is a very large sport and has a massive following in India. I can, in the VOD context, hover over these events and click to watch them. In the live context, as the timeline is progressing, they are automatically populated. The Diva platform is directly plugged into data which comes out of the PFD's Clear platform. So if I can then draw your attention up to the top here, if I click scorecards, you'll note that an overlay has appeared. I have then the ability to explore this overlay and look to see what this particular person has done. The overlays are tied to the timeline, so if I click on a slightly different point in the timeline, you'll note that the overlay changed because it's to do with that specific moment in time. And again, I can explore and look at the wagon wheel. So this particular batter likes to really bat it down here or over there, and he's got 8 points. I can go back, I can then look at, bring the scorecard up again and look at a full, slightly bigger and in-depth scorecard. Similarly, I can dive into the player stats. I can look to see what this player has done if he's bowled. I can look at his career stats, and I can then maybe explore the opposition player, look at their career stats, and really look to get a very engaged audience member, or rather engaged experience for the audience, for the consumer. So that's the product in a nutshell. It also has this commentary tab which allows the producer, so Star TV's editorial team, to really add flavor and color to the story and allow consumers to share specific moments in time of the match on their social media and drive people to that exact moment in time.
That's really, really fascinating. Is there a social media aspect to this information, or is that part of the integration of it?
Absolutely. Part of the integration is social media. Social media plays a very big part in driving traffic back to starsports.com. So we allow people to share those moments, but equally the editorial team have the ability to curate social media, listen, for example, for certain hashtags and publish those within the commentary field that you saw there. So really giving the user a voice to be able to voice their opinion.
So Harish, was this a success? Do you consider this OTT experience to be a big success?
Of course. When we started the solution, there was nothing else in the market that time. It was only the YouTube which was there in India, and the time spent on YouTube was around 7 minutes. And when we have seen a time spent going up to 40 minutes, and that's a huge number for any OTT solution in a bandwidth constrained country. So with these interactive features and this thing, we have seen a lot of time spent, and the engagement has been really high.
So is this something you're planning on, you'd like to do again?
Yes, and this is continuing. We started off with the cricket only first, and then we extended the same experience across other sports that we deliver, with football, hockey, badminton, and a lot of other sports. We are delivering the similar interactive features.
Wonderful. Well, we have to wrap up in a couple of minutes, but Ramki, I'd like to hear from you what you've learned from this great experience of partnering, and what that portends for the future.
No, I think what the example of the experience we have is really what I would call a digital next experience, because this is not about just putting up an online video portal and sending a live stream up to the consumer. This is about how do you really kind of provide engaging experience to the consumer, an interactive experience to the consumer, and I think that truly to me is a digital next event from that. Yes, we've done this 2 years ago, and really we have about close to about 7,500 to 9,000 hours of live television live experiences that's delivered on this platform, and significant learnings that we've had. And if you look at it, Harish will speak to the metrics that this is probably sort of we're extremely proud to be associated with it, and we're extremely thankful to Star for providing us at Deltatre a collective sort of opportunity to kind of really be part of powering this experience, and so we're really happy about that. And I think this customers all around the world can truly leverage the learnings that we have of delivering this digital next experience.
Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us and giving us a peek into this really unique and very interesting OTT experience. Perhaps we'll talk again next year. Have a good rest of your show. We're going to take a break right now, and we'll be back with another session looking at on-set color decisions. See you then.